go and you get upset at gamers because all they do is cry on the internet when that's what you did. You're the preeminent crybaby on Twitter. Get it together, you fucking fuck.
Do you know the history of this one, Jaffe? Of course you do.
Don't care.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the hose
do you remember
before
the
bros
trophy?
thing?
Yes, this is the bros before hose thing.
I would have never approved a hose before bros trophy name.
Yeah, I know you did.
No,
so
I mean,
let me try to explain. And this is once again the very rigid thinking problem. The curb stomping of the Furies in God of War Ascension was notable. Even when I felt like it was a darker, nastier game. That like the transitive properties of association. Violence in God of War 3 is not the same as violence in God of War 4. It's all context. It's art. Like, stop thinking mathematically. There was something I found to be just a little more intimate and gruesome. And I think other people saw it too in God of War Ascension. It just had an unpleasant edge to it. And curb stomping as an act of violence is different than even evisceration. There's just something, it has cultural history, which is unfortunately associated with neo-Nazis, not Nazis. It's really, really ugly. I think the most violent moment in the whole game happens, and that the hose in the trophy are referring to the goddamn Furies. Like that glib, like pretty hateful to women comment right after the most violent thing that happens in the game, which was with female-oriented characters. That was the connection I made. But God, get the fuck over it. Well, I said something, and I also know the reason it was changed at Sony was not just because of my review. Some people also were not terribly happy about it before it was even given to the reviewers.
What you said about don't think about this stuff mathematically, whether you're talking about the same review score or you're talking about, but it did it in this game. You know, look, I think that's really smart, and I think it's a good observation. It's a damaging way of thinking about the medium that does no one any favors.
It's not critical thinking.
Right.
Critical thinking is not mathematical thinking. Critical thinking is you have to contextualize. You have to consider history. It's that kind of thinking. Like, this is what I look at in the audience that I helped cultivate.
Well, I'm going to bring on your greatest creation, because he's been wanting to talk to you. Our very own P. Turtle. Turtle, you're on. Let's go. You're on with Sessler.
The thing I was going to call in was about where he, made a big stink, and he basically bullied Sony Santa Monica into changing a trophy.
What year is it?
2023.
Like, dude, why does
That's a good point.
Why does it matter? Like, do you feel that empty in life?
You ruined a great game.
They took out a trophy and it ruined it.
You didn't even take the trophy out. You just had the name changed.
Yeah.
I believe your answer that you just gave was bullshit. In God of War 3, you used Poseidon's sex slave as a mechanic to get through a door. And her titties are all out, and you're basically got to crush her so you can go through the gate. You saw something that reminded you of Nazis. You had to bully Sony Santa Monica into changing the name. And then you go and you get upset at gamers because all they do is cry on the internet when that's what you did. You're the preeminent crybaby on Twitter. Get it together, you fucking fuck.
Did you just use the word preeminent? I'm actually very proud. That's pretty good for you, Pete Turtle. Anyway, Adam,
baby.
Sorry, go ahead.
My girlfriend, she's good in English, and she's been teaching me some things. Now, go on, answer, you hypocritical.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Oh, you want me to respond to that? Well, see, Pete Turtle... see, you seem to be confusing pointing something out with crying, which I think with your limited synaptic capacity, I can understand how you could conflate the two, but,
I just want to let you know I'm black. I'm black, and you're talking about my IQ. Don't get racist, so go ahead.
No, I'm just talking about you, dude. I'm just talking about you.
Well, I'm just saying, it sounds a little racist. Go ahead.
Hey,
all right, sure thing. Anyway, dude, like, what you're saying you're not making any sense. You sound like a gamer. You're what I expect. I'm just dealing with the fact that, like, how do you hold that grudge for 10 years? You didn't even work on the game.
And by the way, there is a very valid explanation for why someone like myself would have no problem with the Poseidon crushing the woman thing, but not approve the hose before bros trophy title.
It's so obvious. I don't want to argue it.
He was just talking about how mean
it's context.
But it is the context. Okay, here's the answer, Pete Turtle. I'm going to give it to you because Adam.
Crybaby, but you're still crying about it decades later.
Yeah, thank you very much for pointing that out. It's like
crying about Nazism. I mean, that doesn't even exist anymore.
Nazism is happening all the time, motherfucker. But listen to me, Pete Turtle.
Everything to Nazism. That happened, what, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and you're crying about it still. If you can cry about something that happened that long ago, I can cry about God of War Ascension. Now, give me a good answer, you fuck.
I want to give you a good
answer.
What's your
I don't owe you fucking anything, you annoying fucking gnat of a human being, okay? I want to just scratch you to make you go away. Just because you watched
So you want to
does not have anything to do with me owing you. Fuck all. So how about you crawl back into whatever gamer hovel all the other ones are at, stamp your feet, it's like gnash your teeth, and I'm going to have dinner, okay? We're not doing question number 2.
All right, bye, Pete Turtle. Bye, buddy. There he goes, off into the night. Let me ask you this. When you go to your, we'll wrap up. I know it's been a long chat, but when you go to your therapist, I assume you talk about your relationship with gamers. Maybe you don't, but I mean, I assume it's
yeah. Okay, so it's not so much gamers. It's more
dumb thinkers.
Well, things in my past that has made me have needs for approval, and they're resenting that approval. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. I just wonder what, do you feel mostly that you're good with it? Because I still struggle with it. It's not that I want.
I'm not good with it. It's like it's why I blew up at the kid with the Israel
propaganda guy.
It's like who the fuck do you think you are to fucking talk to me that way? I am your better motherfucker. I'm older. I actually had the goddamn career in front of the camera and broke my ass doing it. I like no one will fully understand what that took out of not me and a lot of other people. But just because there's an internet here and you can do this, you can get up in my face. I grew up in Richmond, California, so I get real feisty. Like I remember having a knife pulled on me because I scuffed someone's white British Knights. So it's like it's like, fuck, dude. Like, do not, like, that fucking level of presumptuous disrespect. And you think because you have the moral high ground that's how you fucking enter a conversation? Like, I wanted him in the room, twist my hat back, throw my backpack on the ground, and like, let's go. It's like, fuck that. It's like these kids are all about fuck around and find out, except they only want to find out when it holds their dick and cuddles them. It's like, Jesus.
Well, listen, I agree. I mean, I think there was a guy yesterday, I think he was the editor of GameSpot, the goddamn editor of GameSpot, tweeted about...
a piece of work, yeah. Yeah, go on.
Tweeted about... there was a site that wrote about my comments on God of War Ragnarok with the character, and then this guy tweets, he's not just some guy, he's the fucking editor of GameSpot.
I didn't know that's who it was. I saw it last night, and I was like, I can't wait to talk to Jaffe about
this guy's going to be washed up, or I hope I'm not this whatever when I'm washed up. And I'm like, A, you've done nothing. Shut the fuck up. B, if anybody has a right to have an opinion, although everybody has a right, I certainly fucking do. And C,
so what did you say?
The videos are up. All I said was, I love 2018. I appreciated Ragnarok. Thought it was wonderfully produced, but I didn't like the character. I didn't like the pacing. I think it's gotten too mushy and feelingy, and it's kind of lost some of its edge and some of its energy.
I thought the pacing definitely was not where it was in the first one.
And then I said Valhalla,
which is also what happens to every sequel I know of.
Right, and I said Valhalla's great, and I talked about Spider-Man or Indiana Jones, Spider-Man, Wolverine. It's like you can have IP where there is a growth and a change to keep things interesting, but the essence of the IP doesn't go away. And in big commercial IP, but in regards to Kratos, they have been treating it not like a big commercial brand IP. They've been treating it like a long Tolstoy book, if you will, Bukaki. And that's fine. I'm just saying I didn't like it. I don't like how they did that. And that's all I said. And I made sure to make sure I said it was great. It was well done.
The irony that last night, you, who once worked on God of War games, made a comment that was honest and critical, slightly critical, a little bit critical, about existing God of War games and how that somehow seems outrageous and worthy of so much attention. Whereas this morning, every press outlet is berating every other press outlet that might consider talking about something that's actually newsworthy. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that like it's insanity.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even ask for 24 hours of consistency in philosophy and in ethics. It's just like it's like everyone is just like, it's just their peacock feathers of like, look, like, please, I am so morally like there's no brown in my butthole. It's just it's exhausting.
What I thought the funnier stuff was
I have a bidet, so there is no brown in my
creators and influencers retweeting your opinion and being like, actually, I agree with this. And everyone underneath that was like, yeah, actually, I think he's kind of right, too. I don't like him, but he's right.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, wow.
All right.
You and I are probably the kings of, I don't like him, but this one I agree with him on. We're like the Brett Stevens of video games.
The deal is, it's like, that's what it means to have a fucking open mind, is that you don't have to throw every baby out with every piece of bathwater. You idiot, Jaffe.
No, and obviously, and everyone's going to, who are just going to reduce it down to that one thing to get the click. And like, all I can say is last night, I saw people who should know better.
Yeah.
Who took that tweet and that line of thinking at its word. It's like as if it may not have been decontextualized.
Maybe
it's just
he's just hungry and needs the clicks. Maybe he's really hungry.
They read it, they took it at their word, and it was also misogynist, alt-right David Jaffe who said it.
Right, I love that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's just you can't win.